Shout out to Phenom Black, Miss Music Lover, Twan Burgundy, Silent Ace Media, man. Mindset of a young nigga with idle time. They say a devil's workshop is an idle mind. This hip hop infiltrated by a wicked built industry. I'm representing for the underground. Independence, Fifth Amendment, freedom of speech, the revolution is pending. But it's cool cause you see we on a mission. Television off, this a viral petition. Man, and I hope you pay attention. The WM48, we keep it real.
What is up, you lucky bastards? Yeah, I'm sorry. This is Phenom Black, and I'm here with Where's My 40 Acres? And we are doing spoiler caps for Luke Cage, Season 2, Episode 1, Soul Brother Number 1, which was directed by Lucy Liu, and written by the creator of the show, Chel Kadari Coker. I'm probably fucking this man's name up. I hope not. Luke is back. We didn't know if he was coming back, but he's back. And they opened with Mobb Deep Shook Ones.
Yeah.
Because it's just a bunch of halfway crooks still shooting Luke Cage when they see him coming. And a lot of people get hit by ricochet bullets this season, which I'm glad they did. Because these niggas don't learn shit. They've been shooting him since season 1. And all them bullets do is fly all over the place.
It's quite funny.
It's like at one point he walks into a room this season. He goes, everybody wants to test the myth. You hear everybody shooting him and he still makes it all the way upstairs. And you still got to be the last nigga to try to shoot him dead. They were pushing a drug with his name on it, right?
Oh yeah, it was called Luke Cage.
It was Luke Cage heroin. He's like, y'all putting my name on shit and pushing it to the kids.
You know you can't have that.
Did you notice that Luke Cage is rocking this African-American College Alliance hoodie?
Yes.
He's so righteous. I feel like sometimes they tell Mike Coulter to look tough, so he walks with his arms out. And I'm like, but you don't need to do that because you impenetrable. Like, you already tough. You can just walk around normally. Like, when you go check your mail, you look swole. So you don't even got to act like Luke Cage. You can just do normal shit. Eat cereal, change the channel, tie your shoes. And all of those will look action-packed because you spent like 10 hours in the gym. His fighting this season from the first episode has gotten better. It's not stiff. It's more fluid. It's still street. He's still picking people up and throwing them, and he's slamming people on the ground. And there's a whole lot of like plucking dudes in their head to knock them out.
I mean, yeah, there's more fight scenes. You know, I had the friend I told you he was auditioning for when season 2 was starting, but he said they ended up keeping the old, I guess, stunt person that they originally had. I think initially the guy was going to leave and do something else. But yeah, there's more fight scenes. There's more different ones. But then there were some that I guess later on down the line, I was like, this is kind of corny.
His lingo is sometimes like there is a point after he goes through the house and he beats people up and he throws them through the wall and he shuts down the Luke Cage heroin distribution center for kids who don't know how to act right on the streets. Once he shuts that shit down, he goes out in the street and some little hustler who is determined to hustle despite hearing all of this shit happening in the background is still pushing that Luke Cage, says, yo, I got that Luke Cage. Shit's bulletproof. And Luke Cage confronts him. And this is where some of the lines start to bother me. He says, what's my name?
Ugh.
And the kid goes running off. And it's like a threatening, what's my name? It's not like a hi, what's my name? It's like a, what's my name? And he just runs off. And I was like, oh, okay. Very intimidating. Black man in a hoodie in the dark. We're going to keep pushing that narrative.
Which that's his thing now, the hoodies.
I want to know who his hoodie supplier is. He gets his hoodie shot up everywhere he go. And yet every time we see him, he got a new hoodie with no holes in it. To the point where there's an episode this season where somebody like pays him to put a hoodie on. And he is insulted by it. But I'm like, nigga, every hoodie you own got holes in it. Just wear the hoodie you was wearing last night.
Yeah.
Wasn't Carhartt the sponsor for his hoodies?
Is it Carhartt? I don't know. Who is it?
Yeah, Carhartt clothing. Like a work clothing
Oh,
job.
I don't know. Is it? Because it's the same yellow inside, teal green outside hoodie. It's
Yeah,
not like
because in
you
the
get
little
new
corner
hoodies.
is a little yellow. It's like a little white yellow C.
I guess. I know he not getting new hoodies. He got one drawer in his house full of hoodies.
Yeah, because remember, even at one point, remember his dad was going to give him a hoodie from I guess the donation box, and it was some tweed hoodie,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh no," he says, "I have a bunch of hoodies back at the house."
They cut to Pastor Lucas, played by Reggie Cathy and Okathy. He is doing the most Shaft Barry White Soul Brother #1 sermon that I have ever heard. And then he starts to condemn Luke Cage and heroes like him in the same sermon that he started off like, I'm like, this nigga is about to sling dick to everybody in the pew.
Deeper and deeper, in love with you, I'm falling.
And then he jumps into, but the righteous shall fall, and hell seeketh the vigilante. And he got the voice for it. See, he got that deep tone ass, I'll whoop you with real leather voice. He runs into Luke Cage, and it's like, my son is the devil
Yes,
that I
he
would
really
love to
did.
build a relationship with. And I'm like, you need to pick one. Can't be condemning this nigga from 9 to 12 on Sunday and then want to be his father Monday after 6.
That was his thing. I think even when it was kind of talked about in the first season about, well, Diamondback was talking about him. I think that was his whole persona. How he was very hypocritical.
It was wild. Him and Luke Cage have a run in, and it does not go well at all. I felt like the dad was trying to reach out, but reach out by slapping him first. And that's just not how you handle a situation with your grown ass kids. Get used to it because Luke Cage really is a grown ass kid.
He really
this whole
is.
season. He can't see not near a forest for none of the damn trees right in front of him.
And that's one of his internal issues. You could tell about, with him that just like what you said, he just can't get over stuff. Like he's very, very
a latchkey kid.
Yeah. Won't let go.
Nothing.
Like, keeps the grudge, and it fuels him.
I miss Bobby's character later in the season, but there's one part where he got some quotables this episode where he's like, the twitty twit tweet, y'all even take pictures of your food. Y'all got to make sure that's real too. And then he says, just because you a woke superhero don't mean you got to be a broke superhero, which has to do with the fact that he's trying to get sponsorship for Luke Cage using his abilities to save Harlem. At the same time, this new kid, DW, who says his nickname is D-Dub, but your nickname already DW, so why you need a nickname for your nickname?
That's funny.
It's selling merchandise.
Your initials always need a nickname.
Sir. Of course, still fucking with Misty, and she's got one arm. And there constantly are jokes, even from her coworkers.
That was fucked up.
Yo, so fucked up.
I would have cursed every last one of them out. Like,
she kind of did.
All y'all.
She kind of did curse them all out, but she did it in a very civil office manner.
She did it in a PC manner.
Yeah, she did a very civil office
She said, okay, let's stop this.
Anybody got something to say? Anybody got something to say? I'm missing an arm, bitch. I'm missing one. You got 2, I got 1. You can count, I can too. Everybody ready to go back to work? All right, eat my dick. Cool. And she sits down. I'm like, that's how you supposed to do it?
Eat my dick. Cool.
That's how you supposed to do it. That's basically that, y'all. That's exactly what she says. That's how they wrote it in the script. She's talking to Luke Cage at one point, and she says, no matter how much Luke loves the fight won't love him back. And I think she describes it, either she describes it or he describes it as punching water. We get finally into the villainy of things, and Shades and Mariah are together.
Yes. They are together.
Mm-hmm.
It is very awkward for some people to see.
Mm-hmm. They're together.
Because of the age difference.
There's a thing there, and between the thing going into her thing, and his thing is there too.
And he is very enamored with her. Like, very passionate.
It's like sucking the emotion out of this man's body.
It really is like pussy whooped.
Yeah.
Which Comanche says a lot of.
Comanche got to be getting them jokes off the whole season, bro. She got your balls in her purse, dog.
When she said to cut on, he said, you gonna blow him for her?
Yo, Comanche and Mariah's feud is such a cat fight.
Yeah, they are.
It really was. It makes so much sense later.
It does. It's just like, oh, okay. Shades and Mariah are meeting this new character, Piranha Jones. And Piranha Jones is like the used car salesman of the ghetto, but he legit got actual money in the business, but you still should not trust this nigga with your money.
You see how wide his smile is?
It's jokerish.
Yes.
No, it's like the character did a bad impression of Marlon Wayans. That's all I kept seeing the whole
Really?
season.
I like Piranha Jones. I thought he was funny.
I mean, he was funny, but like they were just sometimes like that nigga he was dancing in Sambo, and it was just a lot.
Oh, it was a whole lot of dancing selling. You trying to make that money, ain't you? I got that money right here in my back pocket. Look, it's green. It's green like the trees.
I felt like I was watching an episode of Wayans Brothers because that's what I felt like.
Oh, come on, nigga. You know you want to get in on this investment? Look at my house. I got a house. We playing the stock market. Who need a watch? I got watches.
Like,
who needs water?
Yeah.
I found a pond. Like,
that's basically what it is.
Jokey.
The nigga that sells shit in your barbershop learned stocks and became Piranha Jones.
I got a nigga that make me suits. Don't ask no questions. Nigga, my credit got credit. I'm so good. Look at me. But Piranha Jones is basically working with the dealer, Mariah Dillard, because she wants to get completely out of the crime syndicate game. Because they deal guns, so they don't deal in drugs or any of that bullshit. They only deal in guns. And she wants to get completely out of it. And at the same time, she's trying to turn like a couple $100 million profit from it.
Mm-hmm.
And
now how much money did she owe at the end of last season?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I can't remember.
Don't remember
because she owed money. That's what she was trying to get from under.
Right, because she didn't have any money in this episode. They were trying to figure out where they could get her from.
Remember, because that's why they kept telling her that she just sell the damn Basquiat.
Sell the Basquiat, which he's like, I'm not selling. Did we ever see the Basquiat? Or was the Basquiat the picture of the crowns?
Yeah, it's the red crowns.
Okay. They focused on the crowns a lot this season as well. A lot of people stand in front of them crown pictures.
Like there were a lot of, especially like the shades of Mariah in there.
Mm-hmm. They always kiss in front of the crowns.
And hovering over them.
And you remember just how how big that Biggie portrait was with the crown.
Mm-hmm.
In the office for the first season with Cottonmouth. So they just kept that theme going.
Hey, what happened to Shade's dick? Because somebody makes a comment in a restaurant and Mariah like grabs his leg like it's all right. And then later on, they beat the shit out that waiter in the back of the restaurant.
Like the restaurant, like he called him like you and your nephew or something.
Yeah, I think it was just the whole. It's
the age difference. I think he made a comment about that
thing, and he made a joke about it.
Got
you. You know how Shades gets very
sensitive.
Like, Comanche can say some stuff. He kind of he'll look at him and brush it off, but nobody else can't be disrespectful.
Foreshadowing. This is the part where Claire actually asked Luke Cage if he actually said, so you actually said, what's my name? What's that even mean? My name is my name. Luke Cage. That's my name. And Claire's like, nigga, no. All that bald head up top. All that room to think.
Corny.
No.
I kind of like the corny Luke Cage because it's like it's always a callback to the old Power Man comics. You know what I mean? It's always a callback to that's how he was in the comics in the 70s and shit.
He was corny in the comics like that.
That's what I heard. Actually,
that was just kind of the time in the comics too. So like that's why he always said "Sweet Christmas" and stuff. Because that's what that's what he said in the comics. Because
somebody said "Sweet Titty."
Era. I like "Sweet Christmas." Like I do like that.
But I do think some of it is Mike, like what he brought to it last season, and that was kind of I think they toned it down, but I think it's kind of endearing. Like every now and then, just have him do something corny and people acknowledge it and be like, "All right, man."
They did tone it down though. He doesn't say "Sweet Christmas" nearly as much this season as he did last season.
Because he said something "Sweet Christmas" and then he said "Sweet something."
I don't know. Sweet sweetness.
It was something else besides "Sweet Christmas."
I thought somebody said "Sweet Titty" or something like that this season. I was like, okay.
"Sweet Titty."
No,
I'm pretty sure somebody said that. He runs into Sugar, who gets a more prominent side character role this season as well. Sugar is another gangster who follows the code, and you see him live up to that this season. And when he tries to get some information out of Sugar, he scratches this nigga's new truck.
The pettiness.
And Sugar goes, "You're petty, man." And then we get introduced to Bushmaster. And Bushmaster, the first time I saw him, I was like, who is this Jamaican Ronald Isley looking motherfucker? Like, who is this?
I just said this is a big. He's not Jamaican in real life?
I don't know.
When you said he played in.
Let's look this up.
He didn't really talk when he played in The Night of Mustafa Shakur.
Okay.
He didn't talk.
I had his thing because like Mustafa something, right?
Mustafa Shakur.
Seen him in anything.
Shakur or Shaker, Mustafa Shaker, maybe.
Only thing I can find about Mustafa is that he was born in Harlem.
Oh.
They introduce another character, which is Cockroach Hamilton. And for people who've already seen this episode, if you didn't know, this will change your perspective of watching these two get into it. Cockroach and Misty. That is her husband in real life.
Blew my mind when you said that.
That is like, actually what? Her husband. They are married. You can follow them on Instagram. There's a line Luke Cage. I don't even know who Luke Cage said this to. He said to somebody, "Make it sweet." Oh, he's talking to Sugar. He says to Sugar, "Make it sweet, Sugar, or I'll be bitter."
Oh, when he goes and asks Sugar for some information. Yeah, because he went and saw Sugar first and then scratched the car for no damn reason. Sugar was like, "Hey, man, I'm working again. You know, I got a kid and shit, try to do better." And he just scratched the car. And then when Sugar called him with some information, he was like, "Yeah, hey, Sugar, make it sweet, or I'll be bitter." And I was like, "Oh."
Right. Somebody uses the term svelte. And svelte, which is supposed to mean thick and thin at the same time.
Yes, it's a good word. It will get you a lot of points on Scrabble.
Wow. Wow. They got this new thing, which is basically the best description for it is nigga ways. And it is Harlem's Hero app.
Yes, that is wow.
DW, I think, actually describes it as Harlem's Hero app is like Ways for you.
Yeah.
And off bat, DW to me sounds like Little Xan from Atlanta. Foreshadowing. I am Harlem and Harlem is me. I think is another Luke Cage line. I don't know. I don't know. And sometimes when they talk about Harlem, I don't know if it's Luke Cage or Mariah talking, because they both sound the same, just from two different evil sides of the line.
Harlem will rise again. That's all Harlem know how to do.
Mm-hmm. All right, it's still Harlem.
It's really all three. Bushmaster too. Harlem is his birthright.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
It's getting really graphic this season. Like this is a hard R series this season.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from the gore.
Not at all. Not at all.
But he took those bullets like a champ.
It's less fucking and more people getting fucked up this season. I appreciate that. I do. Sometimes these Netflix shows, they get an R rating and they take the liberty to just be having people fuck and not take showers and shit and then fucking get laid on. And I'd be like, okay.
Like Jessica?
It smells like hot fucking cereal and whiskey up in here, but I guess so.
Yeah, that was Jessica. Good God.
Hey, maybe you can tell me what's going on with this note. I have a note right here that says Eye Slasher, Kung Fu Rasta Master Bushmaster. I don't know why I wrote this.
Nah, I don't know that one.
Did he slash somebody's eye?
I didn't
the
get
first
Kung Fu
episode.
Slasher. Oh, I think you might be talking Bushmaster and Nigel.
Probably. My name Bushmaster.
When he talked to Nigel because he slashed him. Yeah,
he did. Yeah, when he walked in there and.
Oh, that's when he took the bullets.
Yeah.
He slashed that nigga right across the eyes. He took the bullet.
He did. Fucked his eyes all up.
Ain't no eyes there no more.
Yeah,
like,
it's not. So that's episode 1. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I watched the first episode and I was kind of like, feels a little bit like season 1.
It was kind of yawnified a little. I mean, the only thing that perked me up was, like I said, Bushmaster and that story. Cause it was new and it was exciting and, good energy. So that kind of got me. I mean, Shades and Mariah cracked me up because he is like, I breathe the air you breathe close to her every single time.
I'm like, y'all had the good gum because every goddamn scene y'all were 2 inches away from each other.
It's Whitney Houston playing in the background every time they get close.
I was like, man, y'all are breathing on each other. I like you and Alfred would have y'all had a good relationship this season. Y'all
they
had
ate
to
lunch
like
together every day.
Y'all got to go off of it. He brought her coffee in the morning before singing. Like
2 sugars, no cream, right, baby?
Like I wouldn't be surprised if they dating in real life now.
They're
like,
not.
That's how close they were this whole.
But it still felt like, Shades was just a little bit more pushing than what Mariah was. But
Yeah, Shay's like, I ain't family.
right.
He was very sensitive about that. Very sensitive about that. He definitely does not want her to get rid of the gun business. But
he got sensitive, when later on when the daughter came in. Whew.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling that because she's still in. That's what it is when you the stepfather and you trying to get bedtime with the mom, but the kid, the original kids that was there when the other daddy left, keep bugging you. You like, you're not my kid. So that's.
But also, like, you remember when he walked in and she was like, "You just can't walk in uninterrupted." He looked at her like, when you were getting this dick, you didn't have no problems.
Right.
Never.
Which we never see this season. I put that out there. There's never a season where you actually see them fornicating. There's just a whole lot of. So it's a lot of. Have y'all seen that video on Facebook of the gay dude acting like he with a girl now, and they just look like 2 Lion King cats.
Oh, the I am delivered.
Yes,
guy.
the delivered guy. And all you hear in the background is "Can you feel the love tonight?" Like that's all that's going on.
The only thing I think I saw that I was like, oh, okay, is it was in one scene where he literally was like groping her ass, and I was like, wow, okay.
I saw that too.
Yes, that did happen.
Like,
so we're seeing this.
I felt like as soon as they said cut, I'd have been like, I'm so sorry, ma'am.
Ma'am.
I apologize.
I'm sorry, Auntie. I didn't mean to do that.
It was in the script. I still should not have done it.
Okay, so yeah.
Sorry, play Auntie. I didn't mean that.
All right, y'all. So that is episode 1, season 2, Luke Cage. And yes, Soul Brother #1, directed by Lucy Liu. She bringing us in, and we'll be back for episode 2. So we'll highlight y'all next time. Remember, this is the Where's My 40 Acres podcast. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're on the podcast, thank you for subscribing to the podcast, and check us out. We'll be back with another spoiler cap with episode 2 of Luke Cage season 2. All right, we're out. Peace.